Today, let me know about how the fetal circulation works and what happens after the birth. This is placenta. From placenta, one umbilical vein carries 80% oxygenated blood. Then it enters the fetus at the umbilicus and runs along the liver. In the liver, it branches to the left lobe and receives the deoxygenated blood from the portal vein. Now, can you see the greater portion of the oxygenated blood from the ductus venosus mixed with some blood from the portal vein? Thus, it forms a short circuit in the liver through the ductus venosus to enter the inferior vena cava. Now, the oxygen content of this mixed blood is thus reduced. Although blood from both the ductus venosus and the hepatic portal vein enter the right atrium, so there's a little mixing over here. Then it reaches the right atrium. 75% of the well oxygenated blood is directed into the foramen ovale and then it passes to the left atrium. Here it is mixed with small amount of venous blood returning from the lungs through the pulmonary veins. Then it is passed on through the mitral opening into the left ventricle. Remaining 25% of the blood after reaching the right atrium passes through the tricuspid opening into the right ventricle. During ventricular systole, the blood from the left ventricle is pumped into the ascending arch of aorta and distributed by the branches to the heart, head, neck, brain and arms. The blood in the right ventricle with low oxygen content is discharged into the pulmonary trunk. Since the resistance in the pulmonary arteries during the fetal life is very high, the main portion of the blood passes directly through the ductus arteriosus and then it is passed on to the descending aorta. You could say bypassing the lungs or shunting the lungs, where it mixes with the blood from the proximal aorta. 70% of the cardiac output, that is 60% from the right ventricle and 10% from the left ventricle, is carried by the ductus arteriosus to the descending aorta. Then it leads to the systemic circulation. Further, it is carried over by two internal iliac arteries. Finally, the deoxygenated blood leaves the body by the way of two umbilical arteries to reach the placenta, where it is oxygenated and gets ready for the recirculation. The mean cardiac output comparatively high in fetus and is estimated to be 350 ml per kg per minute. After birth, cessation of the placental blood flow or the stoppage of the placental blood flow to the fetus and the initiation of respiration by the baby leads to 5 closures. The first closure is umbilical artery. Functional closure is almost instantaneous, preventing even slight amount of fetal blood to drain out. Actual obliteration, which means collapse, takes about 2 to 3 months. The distal parts, distal means it is far away part, forms the lateral umbilical ligaments, and the proximal, which is nearer to that, proximal parts remain open as the superior vesical arteries. Vesicle here means it is urinary bladder. This is a second closure as one umbilical vein. The obliteration occurs a little later than the arteries. It allows few extra volume of blood, that is 80 to 100 ml, to be received by the fetus from the placenta. The ductus venosus collapses and the venous pressure of the inferior vena cava falls, and also the right atrial pressure too. After obliteration, The umbilical vein forms the ligamentum teres, and the third closure is ductus venosus, which becomes ligamentum venosum. The valve of the ductus venosus constricts, and rise in pulmonary blood leads to the thinning of pulmonary artery walls and thereby decrease in the pulmonary resistance. The fluid-filled lung becomes aerated, means the lung which is fluid-filled in the fetus, when breathes first breath, it goes like this, and it takes the air, and this is the second breath, and this is the subsequent breaths. The fourth closure is ductus arteriosus. Within few hours of respiration, the muscle wall of the ductus arteriosus contracts by the end of 24 hours. This is due to the rise in the oxygen tension, which is around 50 mmHg of the blood flowing through the duct. Bradykinin is the substance produced from the fetal lungs during the initial inflation of the lungs, and bradykinin has contractile effect. Due to the variation of oxygen tension on the ductus arteriosus, are thought to be mediated by prostaglandins. Action. Prostaglandin antagonist given to the mother may lead to the premature closure of the ductus arteriosus. Means, if the patient is going to come with a labor pain, and if to relieve the pain in case of a preterm labor, the prostaglandin antagonists are given. In that case, it leads to the premature closure of the ductus arteriosus. The functional closure of the ductus arteriosus may be soon after the pulmonary circulation establishes. The anatomical obliteration, again obliteration means it's a collapse, it takes around 1 to 3 months, and it forms a ligamentum arteriosum. The fifth closure is foramen ovale, and this is caused by the increased pressure of the left atrium combined with the decreased pressure on the right atrium. The functional closure is soon after the birth, and the anatomical closure is around 1 year time it takes. Then it forms fossa vovalis. During the first few days, the closure may be reversible. This is clinically seen by the cyanotic look, means the bluish look of the lips or the tongue or the nails. Cyanotic look of the baby during crying when there is shunting of the blood from the right to left. Within 1 or 2 hours following the birth, the cardiac output is estimated to be 500 ml per minute, and the heart rate varies from 120 to 140 per minute. In simple, from placenta, it reaches the umbilical vein. Here, some amount of blood runs along the liver and mixes with the portal vein, and from portal vein and the ductus venosus, the blood reaches the inferior vena cava. It is discharged to the right atrium, and 75% of the blood from the right atrium passes through the foramen ovale to the left atrium and then to the left ventricle. Remaining 25% of the blood reaches the from right atrium it reaches the right ventricle. From left ventricle, during the ventricular systole, the blood reaches the ascending aorta, and from the right ventricle, it reaches the pulmonary trunk, to the lungs, and to the pulmonary veins, ultimately to the left atrium. Due to the pulmonary resistance, 70% of the cardiac output is bypassed through the ductus arteriosus and further discharged into the descending aorta and then to the systemic circulation, which is carried by 2 umbilical arteries to the placenta. After birth, closure of 5 structures. The first one is umbilical arteries. The proximal parts forms the superior vesical arteries. Vesicle here means urinary bladder. and the distal parts forms lateral umbilical ligaments. And the second one is umbilical vein. It forms ligamentum teres. And the third one is ductus venosus, which forms ligamentum venosum. And the fourth one, ductus arteriosus, forms ligamentum arteriosum. And finally, the last one is foramen ovale. It forms fossa ovalis. Are you ready for the questions? Number 1. What structures in the fetal circulation play a role in shunting blood away from the lungs? Answer is ductus arteriosus and the foramen ovale. These structures help the blood flow, bypass or shunt away from the lungs. These structures seal off and become non-functional after the birth. The ductus venosus plays a role with the shunting blood from the liver and not from the lungs. The second question is, what structure in the fetal circulation play a role in the shunting blood away from the liver? The answer is ductus venosus. The third question is the role of ductus arteriosus. The answer is connects pulmonary artery and aorta. Fourth question, the dash carries oxygenated blood from the placenta to the fetus. Some of the blood flow from this structure is shunted from dash to the dash via the dash. The answer is the umbilical vein carries oxygenated blood from the placenta to the fetus. Some of the blood flow from this structure is shunted from liver to the inferior vena cava via the ductus venosus. And the next question, the pressure in the fetal lungs before the birth is dash, which allows blood from the dash to shunt into the dash via the dash. The pressure in the fetal lungs before the birth is high, which allows the blood from the pulmonary artery to shunt into the aorta via the ductus arteriosus. Next question. In the fetal circulation before birth, the pressure is dash on the right side of the heart compared to the left side. This causes some of the blood from the dash atrium to flow into the dash atrium via the dash. In the fetal circulation before the birth, the pressure is higher on the right side of the heart compared to the left side, and this causes some of the blood from the right atrium to flow into the left atrium via the foramen ovale. And the seventh question, the umbilical cord has dash umbilical vein and the dash umbilical artery. So it has one umbilical vein and two umbilical artery. And the eighth one, before that, single umbilical artery is mostly associated with an increased incidence of the structural and the chromosomal anomalies. Example, renal, UTI, or vesico-ureteric reflex or cardiovascular problems, musculoskeletal, and the growth restrictions. It is common found in the multiple pregnancy. And the eighth question is, the reason for the heart circulation changes due to the closure of shunting structures in the baby's circulatory system. There are 4 reasons. The pressure in the right side of the heart decreases compared to the left side, and the resistance in the lungs decreases. The prostaglandin production decreases and closes ductus arteriosus, and finally the oxygen level in the baby's body increases. And the ninth question, in fetal circulation, the umbilical arteries carries dash while the umbilical vein carries dash blood. In fetal circulation, the umbilical artery carries deoxygenated blood while the umbilical vein carries oxygenated blood. 10th question, in the fetal circulation, the right ventricle pumps dash type of blood to the pulmonary artery. It pumps mixed type of blood. 11th question, in the fetal circulation, dash substance is released from the fetal lungs during the initial lung inflation, which has a contractile effect on the smooth muscles of the ductus arteriosus. So the contractile effect is by the bradykinin. When oxygen tension reaches dash in the ductus arteriosus, it causes constrictions of its smooth muscles. So the oxygen tension is 50 mm Hg. And finally, the last question. Dash, this is the opening in the fetal heart that allows the blood to move from the right atrium to the left atrium. This is foramen ovale. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. If you like the video, do subscribe and press on the notification button and the like button for just an encouragement. Thank you.